Good evening and welcome back to Dissect, another episode. I'm in the black, but I go by the name of Novelist. And we got the bad CEO in the building.
Brother,
Yes,
hold on. So what
I,
we having blackout today's
I,
blackout Saturday then.
I think I'm having a blackout Saturday for sure. But I guess it is what it is, right?
Well, it is what it is, you know. Well, my brother, today our chauffeur. Oh, hey, here you go, but now you came back and you.
It's okay. I'm in Canada. I'm frozen. That's all right.
Oh well,
We're used to that.
yeah,
We're used to that. We'll get over that in a minute.
yeah. Oh, okay, you move. No, one thing, you move from the grin on your teeth before we start the show to now watching me blankly.
Yeah.
We'll deal with that as time progresses.
Yes.
But we have an interesting show today, eh?
Indeed, we have some
Boy,
few guests. It's gonna be some nice
my
topic.
brother,
I feel it's gonna be a laughing show today. You know?
I feel it's a laugh it off show for real. I feel today gonna have a lot of kicks. And okay, so let me start this show off. We're going to start. So, who doing the intro for the first guest? Me or you?
You go ahead and do the thing, bro.
Oh, sorry, bro. I wasn't sure I was supposed to do it professionally. So right about now, for those of you who are not rhythmically challenged and would like to learn how to shake your badum dum dum African style, the guest we're about to bring, her name is Masani St. Rose. She is lives in Edmonton, Canada. And just before I bring her on, I'm about to drop a little video while I'm still trying to wait for Novelist to unstick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Masani St. Rose to Dissect. Okay, Novelist, you have on stick there for 10 seconds, for 2 seconds there.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
all good.
it's all good. We go on it so, man.
What's up, Masani?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm frozen, but I'm good.
Good. Good.
Apparently that
Hopefully
man
we'll get you back in the mix.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, there we go. There we go. There's my
Oh,
bro.
I'm here.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be like one of those other shows where you had to leave and come back. Remember those?
Yeah, I'm a few seconds behind on the lip, but it's all good.
It's cool. Could do that. So okay, so before we get into the nitty gritty of the whole story, Masani St. Rose, tell us who is Masani St. Rose. Tell us why should we want to know Masani St. Rose.
Oh, well, a little bit of background. I am born and raised in Calgary. Started dancing when I was 3. Fell in love with African dancing when I was 8, and I started training, including traveling to Africa in 2016 to Guinea. I continue to pivot to online classes as this evolving global pandemic keeps us at home. And so just launched this business in December of Beat Camp Vibe, looking to have a website and app so that it is accessible across the world. And that's basically it.
Alright, so how have been the business been going so far?
It's good, picking up. I think as people are home and not able to be in place-based studios,
Right.
definitely an option to keep people moving.
Right. Yeah, sorry, Cassia, but that's quite interesting that, in this pandemic that you found a way to still keep people active and, entertained, I guess, at the same time.
Trying, definitely trying.
Nice.
No, it's not that the novelist. She answered about 5 of my questions one shot, eh?
she like to get straight to the point.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
she does it well. All right, so seeing that you've been dancing since you're 3. Now, from my knowledge,
Yes,
you have Caribbean roots. Tell
I
us about
do.
that.
I do have strong Caribbean roots. So dad is from St. Lucia, Clary, and mom is born in Jamaica but raised in St. Lucia. So I am a mixing pot. Grandpa's Cuban, grandma's Colombian, and you get this fierceness right here.
Damn.
Here we are.
Yeah, that. No, Bridget, hold on. Bridget, hold on. You hear the blend, eh?
That is a
Lucian,
mixture.
Lucian, mixed with Jamaican, mixed with Colombian and Cuban, brother.
And you can forget the Canadian, which is the final product.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. All right, so um, tell us about. Okay, so you told us that you started doing this from 3. Who basically introduced you and mentored you in this style of in the African style in the African dance that you are
Absolutely.
currently a part of right now?
All right. So when I was about 7, I attended this show put on by a professional company in Calgary called Decidedly Jazz Dance Works. And they did this piece with black and white feathers. And I remember it as if it was yesterday. And this dancer by the name of Michelle Moss Johnston, when I saw her, I said to my mom, I want to be her when I grow up. And my mom said, Oh, you want to be like her? And I said, No, no, no. I want to be her. So whatever you need to do to get me in these classes, mom, you make that happen. And lo and behold, that is who my mentor ended up being, was Michelle Moss Johnston. And when you see us, a lot of people do think that she is literally my mom. So there's a joke that she's my dance mom,
Right.
but yeah, very, very similar. And so, yeah, she has had, I would say, probably the biggest impact in my life when it came to dancing and continuing to keep dancing. So, my goal is to keep dancing till I can't move anymore. So, hopefully, that's like 105.
You
Nice.
sound like you were very quite determined as a child. Like you know what you wanted right off the bat and just went for it.
Always, I see what I want and I don't
Right.
stop until I get it.
And
So,
that fire never stopped burning, right?
no, never.
CEO keeps saying African dance, and we could keep saying African dance, but is there like a name that you have for this African dance?
So for me, like because we're trying to educate people and get rid of that monolithic
Right.
look at
Mhm.
Africa,
Mhm.
I like to specialize and say that I do a Guinea style African dance because that's the specialty. That is the country that I have trained and specialized in. So I do say it is the Guinea style African dance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, right. Okay then. Have you done any major performances throughout your years of experience of
Yes. Yes. There have been some of the big ones have been big festivals here, like the Heritage Festival that brings people, about 10,000 people from
Nice.
across the world. That is one of the biggest performances I have done. There's a lot of, actually, online, one of the festivals that I just did on Monday was the East Side Dance Festival, bringing together about 10 high schools
All
in
right.
Calgary, and such an interesting experience to be able to connect and actually have connections via, platforms with kids. So that is some cool stuff. Of course, my near and dear first performance ever was with the St. Lucia Junior Dancers. If anybody ever gets a hold of that tape, goodness me.
how long was how long ago was that?
Oh, I was 3 and I'm now 38, so 35 years ago.
Oh boy. Once you start making it out there, people find the weirdest and
Listen,
the dumbest things.
listen. I was in a job interview and somebody brought up a similar clip to the one that you played because they Googled my name and
Right.
then played it. And I was like, oh, that's a start a professional job.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, don't watch us solo. There's a bacala listen, bro.
Well, you know what? The video tells a lot. You know what they say? Picture speaks volumes. Yeah.
Bro,
The video
she
says
does
a lot.
caravana. She does caravana.
I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
done it in a while, but the last carnival I did was St. Lucia Carnival in 2019.
In 2019, that was that 2 years ago.
Yeah? You see what I mean?
That
That
was
was
the last
nice.
carnival, no?
Yeah,
That was the
well,
last time it
He's
was.
a real bacchanalist. Make it real.
she go down and do the east. She go down and do the real thing. She don't take it. She don't take the watered down version. She go and take out the real thing.
Nice.
Um. No, this is something a lot of people. When people hear dancers and see people doing choreography and stuff, what are some of the biggest challenges that you face as a dancer and a choreographer, besides trying to not damage your legs?
I think I think right now there's big conversation around appropriation versus appreciation, and
Right.
especially in the styles that we try and present, keeping that authenticity without. Because let's be real, as we just said, my roots are Caribbean, and so a lot of people in the community, especially in the Guinea community, are like, "You're not African, why are you teaching this?" So to just be able to stand and have my own kind of Masani isms in teaching and staying true to that, and still knowing that at the end of the day, what I'm sharing is authentic, is years of training and ever evolving. I
Right.
think that is probably the hardest thing to do, and also staying inspired. I think is huge because I mean, songs are great. And I think my vibe is more of a traditional African vibe that I bring to anything that I do.
Right.
And so with that, um, I think sometimes it's just, bringing people along.
But
Now,
go ahead.
hold on,
Go
no,
ahead. Go ahead.
novelist. Sorry for cutting you off.
No, no, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
novelist, I have a question to ask, but I don't want it to sound like it's out there because I like to ask some weird questions, and one just came up because in doing my research, I mean I've known her for a while, but in doing my research and watching some of the videos, I noticed she teaches some of the Caucasian people. How hard is it, difficult is it to get them to get their correct timing? Because, there's a saying that some white people can dance. It's nothing, I'm not being racist or anything like that, but I'm just saying it's just things that people say. And even watching it in the videos, you'll see them with some weird timing. So, how difficult is it teaching them to get in proper timing and stay in proper line?
Well, the beauty of being in Calgary and Edmonton is that that's our community, right? And so that's what I grew up with. And so it's not difficult to teach them because for me, if you can walk, you can dance. Whether you do it well, that's a whole other question, right? But if you have the basics of being able to walk, you can dance. And so I think what it is, it's allowing people to know that they're in a safe space to allow that vibe inside because my whole mantra all the time is keeping art alive from soul to the soles of your feet. So if you can do that, I can rock with you. If you can't, well, that's the door.
But that's what I was gonna say. Like Calgary, like I'm in Toronto, and
Yes,
Toronto and Montreal is like blacks would dominate, right?
yes,
Calgary, not so much,
100%,
right?
100%,
so
100%.
so I take it most of your I guess students would probably be of a different ethnic background.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
100%, 100%.
nice. Now you do a lot of like okay with the video I just seen a lot of African drumming in there, so it wasn't like what would I would say stereo studio music. It was more hands-on drum type.
So that's one of the things that I really try with my class is to stay true and authentic to the form. So
Right.
when I am teaching, we are using recordings of drumming, and when I have the opportunity and the budget, I bring in live accompaniment, usually about 2 to 3 drummers. So yeah, it's a big part of what I
Right.
do because I think it's a conversation
Mm.
and it's also a connection, dancer to drummer, and
Most
building
definitely.
community.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
novelist,
Mm-hmm.
we about to break a record, for the
Oh, yeah.
first time. No,
Mm.
we're going to do something, a first, never been done before on any of the talk shows on TDN. We're about,
Okay.
no, 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 no. I'm about to throw Miss Ed Rose under the bus.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
we getting violent on dissect. I know we dissect. You know,
Right?
we ain't trying to throw nobody
I
under
thought
the
we were
bus.
friends.
No, we are
You know what
friends.
I
We are friends. But we saw the video.
Yes.
Management, I think we may have a by that
We
time.
saw the video, you know.
I signed my
Novelist.
waiver.
Yeah.
Novelist.
Novelist, we
So
saw the video. But I want to, according to, in the use of bad English, I would like to saw it live, please.
oh gosh. Okay.
Hey, put you
So
All
right on the
right.
spot. Like, you could at least wait till, like, she's ready to leave. You're just gonna put her to dance now, and okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All
It's
right.
like no, no,
So,
no.
so
Ladies
I
and
get. I guess you got your own music, or you're just gonna do your thing.
I can get my own music. Or if you really want to put me on the spot, go ahead. Give
Yeah, go.
me whatever. We can make
Well,
this happen.
you see, he's the one who put you on the spot, and he ain't got music set up for you. So I don't
wait,
know.
wait, wait, uncle, uncle,
Hmm,
uncle. Why you like to say that now?
go ahead, sir.
No, but I thought, why you like to put me on? You trying to have me funny, my brother? Like I cannot get some Afro beats or something to put on. Let's see.
I think you're gonna have to because yeah.
I'm going to. I'm gonna get it.
All
Let's see.
right.
I am waiting to be entertained.
All right.
Yo, I have a habit of doing this. All right, so we got it. Come on, load, load. All right, so let's see. I
In the
think this.
meantime, good evening to our
I
viewers
am
on
the
Facebook.
CEO.
Yes, you are the CEO. And of course, the people on TDN TV, good evening to you guys. Go ahead and share that live and let everybody know you're watching Dissect, man. And Miss Masani is going to do a dance for us. Let's go.
Chosen blood. Fire, baby. Bumblebees. Ogonda bulala kutide hani naye ngendako mu Kampala kunoonya money me want you hold and caress your body kujukize love y'obubadi she tell me baby don't go yasiba w'olugirwa emiyango ono yasalawo abali baliwo olutalo balulabako omukwano gwaffe gwaliko ng'oleetaniko ekinendyako nga twefaako iwo fetwaliko iwo fetwaliko ayitayo ndabeko hani omukwano gwo gwe guliko tukole ebiriko ayitayo ndabeko hani omukwano gwo gwe guliko tukole ebiriko.
Indeed.
Excellent.
You see, so novelist, you see, it?
That's
You
what's
see?
up. People on Facebook, let us know what you think of that. Of course, you could hit us up on YouTube as well and let us know what you think of the dance Miss Sunny Saint Rose just did for us. Yeah, nice little
Thank
choreo.
you for
Nice.
putting me on the spot.
Hey, what? That's what friends are for.
No, you putting you putting yourself on the spot trying to sing. Oh gosh, don't hit my ear. So it's it's only African dance that you teach, right?
So I think I've moved to the era, sorry, of Afro
Right.
Caribbean. So definitely, thank you, Nigel. Very kind. But
Catch your breath. Catch your breath. Catch
Yeah,
your
yeah.
breath.
right, I'm like, so. But yes, it's more of an Afro Caribbean. What I've started to do is partner with live DJs to have them playing, spinning in the classes.
Nice.
So we're gonna try and hit all of the islands. So get ready, YouTube.
Okay. So and this is done online as well, right?
It is. All classes are online right now. Bless you.
Right. And it's not just for women, is it?
It is
Okay.
not just for women. No.
So,
No.
Fellas,
So,
Korea.
fellas, if your waist hard, go and get some training.
So okay, for I guess people who's watching from any parts of the globe, can you give them an address where, excuse me, they could follow you online to like if they wanted to
Absolutely.
join? Sorry.
Absolutely. So email me at beatcampvibe@gmail.com. And we are in the process of getting our website and app up. So stay tuned for that. If you are on Instagram, you can follow me at Misani1982. And yes, that's where all of the info for classes and events and vibes, that's where it's all at.
Okay. So I just put that up. Just put that up on TDN on Facebook, so you guys could catch that. And excuse me, my throat. So yeah, you
No,
guys could
no,
follow
no.
that and try to.
Hold on. Novelist, before you continue on my interview, please go on, clear your throat, gargle, catch your breath. Cause, bro, what going on with you?
We're good. We're good.
Yeah, today is that kind of day for you, bro.
Yo. Anyway, we're not gonna talk about my day.
We're gonna talk about mine. We're just gonna continue having fun. So, all right. No, so like you said, people, you about to put up your website. You about to you told people your social media.
Yes.
Um, what So now you have the floor to just sell yourself, sell Beat Camp, tell people why they should come to Masani to teach them how to go back to their roots according to the man Lucky Dubby.
I have
Yes.
one. I have one reason they should follow you, though. You want me
Oh,
to go
what's
ahead?
that? Yes.
Well, you got to stay fit in this time where everybody's getting sick, especially with this whole COVID nonsense.
Yes.
Keep the lungs open, keep the workout going. And a lot of you guys can't get to the gym, right? So I suggest, something to look into. And you in the comfort of your own home.
Yes. That's basically it. I was just going to say, you can do it from your living room. You can do it if you are going to the office. And I think the other thing to think of is that that's not the only thing we do as classes. We do team building events. We do social nights. We do artist in residency programs. Right now, I'm working with elementary schools to ensure that they get the art, culture, and tradition infused into their social studies classes. So through movement. So if you have, I don't know, any desire to just learn more, feel more, get that vibe, reach out. I'm your girl.
Most definitely.
Good night, DJ Mashup. I joined already. I have my own. I get my classes every so often. Uh, yeah. So yeah, it's a nice vibe. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It's quite amazing that novelists. It's quite amazing that we get to meet people like Masani, because it's not often that you get to meet young, young, young entrepreneurs who do a lot of things for themselves. You know what I'm saying? You meet some of them with ideas that works, and you know and they don't work. But Masani is a and listen to this. Masani is one of the kind of person, and this is just me. Like she says, she goes for whatever she wants. So mark you, if she says she's aiming to teach for anybody and everybody from around the world, she is going to do that, sir. Any other questions on your part, good sir?
And no, I'm good. Hey, listen, man. You're a go-getter. I can't even tell you keep going, because you've been going since you were 3 years old, telling your mom what you want. So all I can say is keep that fire up. You know what I mean? And we'll push it, and hopefully we'll get DJ Mashup, Coriette, and many others to follow the vibes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Actually,
Thank you.
actually, I may have missed it, but do you have any intentions of showcasing your classes on an online platform? Nigel, she actually does offer online classes. So all you gotta do is drop her a line at beatcamp@gmail.com. Beatcamp vibe, sorry,
Yes.
at gmail.com, and she'll hit you up with the vibe, pricing, everything that you may need to know. Um, do you have any final words or anything? Or in fact, you know what? I feel novelist, yeah? Novelist, I feel you might want to see Masani dance again, because
Oh,
the,
wow.
the, the fact that you run off screen now, We
Listen,
forgot.
if you want Mashup to have you tie up your tongue, and you want me to have no, it's I enjoyed it. It was lovely. It's all up to you if you want to take us out with a dance, my dear. But I do. But it was lovely.
I'm just saying thank you both for having me this evening. Such a treat to get to talk and just, you know,
Yeah.
share what I love
Nice.
to do. I am not going to dance you out. I'm going to say thank you.
All right.
There you have it, folks.
Thank you for
Uh,
joining us.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening, you two. Keep
You
doing what
as
you're doing.
you as
thank
well.
you.
You
Thank
as well.
you.
All right. Miss
Folks,
Masani sent Rose.
what? Yo,
What
yo,
happened to you?
yo,
What happened to you?
yo. Oh, you don't tell him Mashup leave me alone tonight, there.
Me and you and Mashup. Me and you and Mashup.
So now we move from the dancing segment now to some big guns. I understand them fellas is some big guns in the music.
This one's for my
What?
lady. My
Lovely, just
sexy
so then.
baby.
Just so sorry. My apologies.
Hey, yeah. I want you to wine for me, wine for me, wine for me. Throw it back, girl, and wine for me, wine for me, wine for me. Cock it back, girl, and wine for me, wine for me, wine for me. Just wine for me now. Wine for me now. This girl start to mash up the dance, and she step up on the dance floor. Bacchanal, really couldn't believe baby girl so quick to the draw. Antisocial, she's facing the place, but she felt in her wicked ways. Hey, baby girl, you mash up the place. The way you wind and slow, girl, you hold it back, baby, let it go. You have me under pressure, where you come from, I don't know. I never seen a girl so sexy, never seen a way so fiery. Baby girl, I don't mean to be rude, but you're putting me in the mood. I want you to wine for me, wine for me, wine for me. Throw it back, girl, and wine for me, wine for me, wine for me. Cock it back, girl, and wine for me, wine for me, wine for me. Just wine for me now, wine for me now.
The man CR is in the building.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's scream. You hold up. Dancing dance. Baby girl. On your knees. On your head. Yeah, man. On your knees. Show them. You on your
What's up, gentlemen? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yes.
What's the word?
Hey there.
CR, you in me good over there?
Unmute your mic.
There
That
you go.
is
You good?
that's the host. That's the host.
Yeah, that's
The host,
definite.
the
That's
host,
definite.
the host have me like a ghost.
You start already, boy.
Thank God I do like roast.
Well, since you started on me, I gotta start with you.
Yeah.
Let the people know who you are, sir.
Well, the original CR, straight out of St. Lucia / Toronto. The normal, simple musician, producer, writer, arranger, etc., etc.
All right,
You know.
and let's go to your partner in crime over there.
Yeah, man. Well, most people know me as Markel. Some people know me as Kells. Born in Dominica, migrated to Canada at the age of 16. Live musician, arranger, producer.
Everything.
That's me. Yep.
So I guess I'm gonna shoot both of you guys with this question, and I'll go from the beginning after. I'm gonna start it in the middle. So where did the music come from? Like, what inspired music? Whichever one of you guys wanna go ahead.
Go ahead, Carlton.
Yeah, well, um, the music really just came to me, you know. My uncle was into the arts, you know.
Hmm.
So growing up in the household, music every day, that kind of thing. And I started off as a calypsonian.
Right.
right? Singing junior calypso and so on. Um, then it was getting so costly to have the songs arranged and stuff, you know.
Right.
I started learning how to arrange my songs, and that's how I got into the whole arrangement and production and so forth.
Hmm.
You know, so it really just fell in my lap. I'm one of those natural ones, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kels.
Well, I mean, honestly, the first person to inspire me musically was night mass in St. Alphonsus, 7 p.m. mass. There was a blind lady playing the organ at the time.
Jeez.
And I just found it impressive, you know, that to actually see a blind person playing the organ. And as an athlete, originally, I mean, the music just creep up on me in an unbelievable way, you know. A self-taught musician, you know,
Right.
it's and when you know when you're on a train and the train going, you can either hop off or just stay on it. But so I
Yeah.
decide to just go with the train, you know,
Yeah.
just stay there. You know, a lot of challenges with it, but I stay on path, you know,
Right.
most importantly.
So I'm glad you mentioned sports because that brings me back to the beginning now, right? Well, I know you for football, basketball. Is there any other sports that I don't know about?
I played cricket one season.
Okay.
I also played a little volleyball, but not professionally.
All right.
I played table tennis as well. But to represent Dominica, I represent Dominica in football and basketball.
Right.
You know, from the time I was 13 years old up till
Hmm.
when I left when I was 16. And in that time, I played for the national under 15, under 6, under 17,
Right.
and under 21. Yeah,
For
that,
basketball and football.
well, that was football. Basketball, I
Right.
played for the inter-schools team and captained the inter-schools team. Basketball
Okay.
under 21. It was under 21.
Right.
I captained the team when I was 15 years. Yeah, 15 years I captained the under 21 where we were successful to win in the inter-schools tournament in Saint Lucia.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the sports life. a lot of accolades in sports. I could go forever, but that's just obviously I captained the SMA basketball team as well. We won a
Right.
championship in 2002.
Hmm.
St. Mary's under 14 also won many championships in St. Mary's Academy, countless football championships.
Right.
Way too much. And I gave
Oh,
up the cricket quite young, you know, because it was too much for me with basketball,
and football.
football, national team. Then I still playing for Heineken Saints First Division, Bafe
Right.
State off season for Guada squad. I had a lot of things happening, you know.
Staying active. That's
Yeah.
what's up. Carlton, what about you? You did anything else beside the music, sports, or anything?
Yeah, dabbled in sports in high school, soccer, but mostly was music.
But mostly music.
Yeah, mostly consuming. Um, between music and playing for the different bands and playing at the different hotels.
Right.
That was pretty much capping off my entire school life.
Right.
Music school and yeah.
Okay.
So it was always been music.
So you mentioned that you were singing calypso. You started as a calypsonian.
Yes, as a kind of trainer,
So
Dr. Carlton.
right. What was your calypso name?
Dr. Carlton.
Why? That doctor there. Why?
I don't want that man to perform no
Let
surgery
me tell
on
you,
me.
I don't want no
They're
prescription from that
really
doctor at all.
No, 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 hold
You're
on.
not
No, 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 no,
doctor.
no, 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 for this, no, for this. I think there might have been one thing might have been able to prescribe properly. Uh,
Oh yeah, but yeah. By the way, all your hands looking empty. I don't know you like that. Like.
Yeah,
that's not
I,
the,
I have in my bottle of water.
Okay, we've been professional. All right.
You see, the wife watching it is the Sabbath, so I'll be
But
in
the
that stuff.
Sabbath
Yeah,
done by.
and the wife watchings.
I just celebrate the Sabbath too. The Sabbath done at 6 o'clock. I'm to you.
Yeah.
so,
It don't fill up for me, so hard luck.
all right. I respect that. I can't go against that. So, your calypso time in Saint Lucia. I guess you started what? Is it like Junior Monarch or something? All you have down there
Yeah,
too?
yeah. Started junior monarch. Started seeing calypso when I was about 9,
Okay.
somewhere around
Uh,
there. Yeah.
uh,
And then just kept moving through the ranks. Coming up. In back home back then you have stages.
yeah.
So I started around stage 2,
Mm,
somewhere around there, stage 2, and you move up. And
right.
then when I got to high school, still continued. And in 1994, I won the National Junior Monarch. Right, that was actually the first time ever my high school had ever won the National Monarch.
Nice.
A record that I held for almost over 20 years. I think someone finally won the crown again last year, year before last.
Okay. I was gonna
Yeah,
say, boy, you're making yourself look old there. Like it better be last year.
yeah, man.
so,
So
so I guess you gave that up when after.
um, I gave that up when I came to Toronto
Hmm.
in '96,
All right.
because the demand was there for a musician of my caliber
All right.
who could play and sing,
Hmm.
pretty much hold anchor down the band.
All right.
Um, so I joined a band called Passion.
Passion.
That- Passion, yeah, that was the first
Okay. Okay.
band that I joined here,
Hmm.
um, with a bunch of trainees.
Okay.
Yeah. So from there it was because the calypso vibe here. It wasn't as grand.
All right.
You had a certain subsection of people doing the calypso, but the limelight was more on the bands, on the live
All right.
bands.
Hmm.
So I steered in that direction,
All right.
and it just took off from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Kels,
Yep.
when did you even get time between all this sports thing to? I know you said that one still have me amazed. Like the lady, the blind lady playing the organ. I know,
Yeah.
yeah, like I that one there. Yeah, I didn't
I
see that
mean,
coming.
I mean, as a kid growing up in Dominica, I mean, you see Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles.
Yeah,
So you haven't migrated yet, so you're still in that kind of fictitious mind.
true.
So when I saw it right in front of me, that was like one of the first time I went to night mass, because if you miss the youth mass, you have to go in the night on Sunday.
All right.
I said, "What? This lady really blind?" And she playing away. I was like, "Wow." And then shortly after that, my uncle had a keyboard. I don't know what he was doing with it. He had a keyboard down in his room, and then I put batteries in the thing. I started listening to DBS radio and them stuff there, and I just started to play what I heard. And
That
then
sounds like
and then one day he caught me, and he's like, "What? Yo, Michael, how you learn how to do all that?" I say, "Yeah, I
right.
just listen and try to play what they playing." And then I gave the music a rest just before high school.
Right.
And then I came back close to it towards the end of high school. I
Right.
mean, through Stephen John Baptist and Anwar Cadet. I mean, these two guys, I mean, this is what these guys wanted to do. I mean,
Right.
so I could play the little keyboard and so on. We used to do little stuff. And then also when there was GSS band around with Kendall and Anwar Cadet again and Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
Us.
Yes, I came in around there, but this was a little bit too serious for me at that point. So
Right.
I stepped back into the sports again,
Right.
until I moved here to Canada, and I got paid as a musician for the first time. I didn't even know I was getting paid with a band they call Drastic Measures.
Right.
You know, again, Herman Johnson was the owner of that band,
Okay.
and he came to my dad's house and he heard me playing on a little Casio my dad had there, and he said, "Manu, your son can play, man." I say, "I don't know if I that good." Then he said,
Right.
"I come to rehearsal next Sunday with Humina, you know." And I went there, and 2 weeks after, I was about 18 years at the time, 18 or
Right.
17.
Mm-hmm.
We had a gig at the casino, you know. I didn't even have of the age limit to
Legal
go
to
to
go.
casino.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So they
Yeah.
had to ban me one of the kids' band, you know.
Right.
So I couldn't drink, you
Okay.
know. And after the gig, I got my first payment. I was like, "What? You get paid for this?" And I just went on from there to many other things, lots of other bands and so on, you know.
Yeah. I guess that. Well, that's where the journey kind of began, right?
Yes, yeah.
So,
To take it as a
so
profession, yes.
right. Yeah. So I guess that first payment that was like a real motivation. Like, yo,
Yes.
that's where it's at.
Yeah, because as a 17 or 18-year-old here in Toronto, the culture shock still had me. That was like my first 2 years into Canada.
Right.
So I still was just filling out everything with the school. And I say, you know, this could be a good side hustle whilst I go to school, you know.
Right.
And
Nice.
then, yeah.
So we mentioned the train moving, and it's either you jump off the train or you stay on the train.
Mm-hmm.
So how far down the road did that train collide and have you two meet up with each other?
Uh,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and tell him. Go ahead and tell him.
What year? I think um was 2006
Yeah,
New Year's Eve.
2006 New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
And was that for music?
Yes. It was at Cutty's Hideaway where all the live bands were playing. And
Okay, in the hall.
this young fella woke up, came up to me, he told me, "Yo, you good, you know? You tight, you know?
Hmm.
I can make you a better musician. Check me out." I say, "All right." Because you know I'm a person I always willing to learn, you know.
Right.
And Dominic, I come out, I can take talk.
Yeah.
And that's
So,
what some musicians can do today. You have to be able to take talk, you know.
of
Some
course.
of the criticism might be negative, but you have to turn it into a positive, you know. You
Yes, of
can't just
course.
look at the negative all the time,
True.
you know.
I always tell people, in not everything somebody give you good is good for
Yeah,
you, you know. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
man.
And also you get negative. There's positive things to get in there as well.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
so go ahead, continue.
Yeah, and then I link up with him, and he had his own personal little band doing at the time.
Hmm.
And I went to Dominica for 2007, and when I came back, I started working with him and his band. We did about two gigs,
Right.
and we go on to other things from there when we reach there.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys actually went into having a business together and still doing music together.
Yeah, yeah,
It, that is an amazing story. So
yeah.
so Sia,
Yeah.
obviously the music is running in the back. Is that's not your first recorded studio
No,
recorded song,
no, no. I've
right?
been
So,
recording since the 90s.
hmm
Um, back then it was a lot harder without YouTube. It was harder to get your stuff out there.
right, most
But
definitely,
as for studio recordings, I've been recording since the 90s. I've done a bunch of songs for Moses Revolution,
right,
on the first and second album. I've done my individual stuff as well. As a matter of fact, every year prior to last year,
hmm
I was releasing a song.
okay.
A
So,
couple songs.
did you just say Moses has an album, two albums?
Yeah, most
Three,
have two albums.
I
not
didn't know
three.
that.
Yeah, two.
Three.
Yeah,
Oh,
against
sorry, two. Sorry.
there's against all odds,
Right.
and against all odds was the first one, and the second one. can't remember the name of the second one, but that's more of a crossover kind of album.
Okay. So
Yeah.
did both of you guys produce and record? Well, obviously you would do vocals, right, CR? So did you both produce these albums, or was it a
No,
collective thing?
the albums were the first album I produced my 3 songs on there.
Hmm.
I had 3 songs on the master, Take It Slow, and the master, Take It Slow, and Party. So those 3 songs I produced myself. Um, it was more like a collab album. So Moses did the rest, Togo
Right.
from Studios. I
Hmm.
remember we had Esteban Cavallo in the band at the time. He was into some production as well, so
Right.
he had done some of them. The second album, we I was more of a musical director kind of role in
Right.
it. Yeah, because at that point in time, I was actually just leaving the band for the first time,
Okay.
whilst that album was actually being made.
All right.
So I held back my 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 um
The product.
my input as per
Okay.
my writing and my music because I didn't know in which direction I was gonna go. So I
Right.
was gonna leave them and leave my music with them.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
So I was more in a musical direction kind of role. Helping them out to the studio and stuff. So that was about it. Yeah.
so, Kels, are you on those albums too? Or you did
No,
working on?
they did all these albums before I joined the band. I joined Moses Revolution in about 2009,
Right.
yeah, early
Yeah, some of
2000,
them. Some of
yeah,
them.
early 2009 or late 2008.
All right.
Yeah.
But you also have. Well, I know for sure you have one album under your name for sure.
Yes.
But I think you have a few albums and productions.
Well, I have Erratic Band album under
Right.
my belt,
Hmm.
and also, I mean, all the singles I've done. I mean, you're the ones. You're the one and novelist.
Yeah, they like I let everybody know.
Yeah.
My number one producer. It really
Yeah.
started with you and Kim Puss. I mean, big
Yes.
up Kim Puss on the outside, same thing.
Don't you know I come into that segment there, you know.
No,
I
go
ready
ahead,
for that.
go ahead.
No, 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 no. No, no. Since Kez bring it up. Kez,
Yes,
how
sir.
hard it is to work with that knucklehead next door there.
That's it. That's a walk in the park, man.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Is it-
Easy.
You
I
sure? You sure
Yeah.
you sure he don't give you as much headache as he does try to give me?
Nah, I mean, people like novelists, they will always have their input, and they will say what they have to say, which is fine. But is how you receive it
Right.
and how you say what you have to say back to them, where we can come into a neutral grounds and agree. And most times, novelists and I
We
mean,
never.
since Ratic Band, I mean, we just flow. I mean,
Yeah, we never been on a collision course, you know.
and I mean, some people have told me novelist is a hard person to work with. Some
I
of
don't
them would
find.
even come to me and say, "But Michael, how do you work with novelists?"
I don't
Uh,
find.
yeah, oh yeah,
I don't find. No, no, no. I really
okay,
don't find. When novelists, one thing I like about novelists is when novelists has to tell you something, you will tell it to you straight, unwatered,
yeah.
unfiltered. Take it how you want it.
Yeah, if you know what the key is to saving your soul? Speaking the truth and just saying it how it is.
That's it.
Bottom line.
Well, I always tell people the truth will always be the truth.
And you know what? The truth is very, very offensive.
Right.
It hurts. It hurts. You know what I mean? You'll tell partner, hey, partner, you just dropped the glass, you know. He know he dropped the glass, you know. But he vexed with you telling him he dropped the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Indeed, indeed, indeed,
yeah, man.
indeed.
But also, I am also presently I'm working on an album with Hermina Judge as a
right,
Dominican singer based in Canada.
Nice.
right.
So hopefully by the end of summer, if we go well,
Nice.
because I
Oh,
mean,
see,
through the pandemic, that's what most of us start doing again. You know,
Right.
the live
Right.
playing was my income. Playing out live, working with the artists and them was my income, but none of that happening. You know.
Right.
Jumping over
So,
to CR, I also understood that you have done some work with novelists.
With whom, sorry?
With novelists.
Oh,
With the hard fella.
well, I mean, who's the man say that Chaz is his top producer? I decided I'd just be myself and so on, you know? and be a nice boy. I don't know how he arrived at that conclusion.
So,
Double S, you see, you start your own
can,
controversy
can
on
I
your own
defend?
show.
Can I
But a
defend
No,
myself?
conclusion,
you're wrong.
yes.
You can't dig yourself out of that hole. No, you're wrong. You should have stated the statement properly. There's no defending that.
Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, I've done some
See,
stuff with Nozzy.
Hmm.
I have a couple actually sitting in the bag, holding, waiting for the right time.
boy.
And then after those are released, we'll decide who is
Who's the number one
the
producer?
number one video.
That's
What?
it's a good
Okay.
thing. It's a
All
good
right.
thing I said in my own lane, eh?
But you
Wow.
see, sometimes you dissecting thing and blood just
No,
all over
me.
the place.
Trust me. I have a couple in the bag with the boy too.
Oh,
Oh
there we
gosh.
go.
But
Wow.
okay.
I don't have nothing in the bag.
Thank you,
Well,
girls.
that's one down. That's one down.
No. You have done an entire album on which the man is. If you have more in the bag still, there's plenty.
Hey, they always say one volley, they like to see another volley for a long bag. Yeah?
True that,
All right, let me just fix myself up. Markel is my number one producer for many different reasons, and I don't mean that to. No, I know CR is just joking, right? But since we're on the topic, I don't mean it to disrespect anybody because I've worked with a lot of producers. Um, I was a rapper, right? When I started Booyah, it was that man and Kim Poos, right? That actually made me started doing this. When they dropped the first Booyah beat, which I believe was Trample or Straight Flight, um, the first thing I started doing was rapping. I didn't know how to sing nothing,
Change
right?
that, man.
Yeah, so I had to listen to Kels, which is younger than me, by the way, teaching me certain things, which I had no problem with because I'm a very open minded person. I like learning new things, right? So that's when the calypso, the booyah vibes start coming in. Then the
Right.
writing expanded, and my stories becomes like, okay, like Kel say, when me and Kels work together, it's like we don't clash with each other, right? It's almost like we're the same person. I can trust what Kels is gonna do on a beat, and I don't have to say, well, Kels, move this snare or move that. I don't have to worry about that, right? He allows me to do what I want vocally. Working with UCR has been the same thing as well. You know what I mean? So that's just to
Clear
clarify
the
the
air.
whole. Yeah,
Yeah,
clearly, yeah. I
no,
don't want nobody taking shots.
none. All the guns are cocked and put away. Yeah.
Nice. So, Kels, you talk about working with Hermina. How is that coming along? Because I heard a little snippet
Oh,
the other
it's
day there.
I mean, I think this was long overdue. I mean, it's a lot of people. A few people ask me how comes it take us so long to work together.
Right.
But I believe that when you're playing out live so much, Hermina as well is busy. I'm busy, and we actually not thinking about the album because I mean the live playing takes up a lot of energy, a lot of time,
Right.
especially when you're traveling back and forth, or you're playing with multiple bands or working with multiple artists.
Mhm.
So I mean, she came to me and asked me to do one song last year September, and after we will basically complete the song, she said, "Hey, Michael, what's I think we should do an album?" And I say, "You know what? Not a problem. I study, you know me already. I make what I have work for me."
Right. Right.
And yeah, we are now. I mean, hopefully by the end of summer we can release it. Because it's
Right.
very tough with the pandemic. It's a lot. Everything is live drums, live sax,
Yeah.
live horns, and
Nice.
with the shutdowns and so on. Sometimes I have to make an ex-musician record it at his studio, and sometimes it's not what I want. Yeah, so
That's the thing of music. That's the part a lot of people don't understand. It takes a lot of work. It's not
Oh, yeah.
just a partner sit down 15 minutes, made a beat, and somebody go jump 15 minutes and write it. It definitely takes a lot of work. Now you mentioned that people saying it's long overdue. Don't you find that it's better to do music when it presents itself, like when the vibe is there,
yes, for sure, for sure. We cannot force opportunities on ourselves.
right?
They just come to meet you, but it's how you deal with them.
Right.
How you deal with them. The opportunity is there, but you have to know how to deal with them. If someone had come and force it up, do an album for Humina.
Yeah.
You have to get a mood. You have to get
Yeah.
a mood for the
Yeah.
artist,
Yeah.
a mood because every artist has different mood, different style, different genre, and you
Most
have to put
definitely.
yourself in that zone
Right.
with the artist to make it work properly. You know,
Most definitely. So, Mashup, let's say you have an album coming out. I don't know if CR is the one producing it or Kells you
No,
producing it.
no, no.
a Throwback Thursday album.
Not me, not
A
me.
Throwback Thursday.
Yeah, a
Uh,
Throwback Thursday album.
I is one that will pay for a copy, but I don't want to hear it now.
Mashafa
I,
plays his own music.
hey, hey. I am not getting into this because this is a political nature kind of discussion there between Mashup and the three of all you. I'll see myself out.
So, so CR, what you got coming up next? As far as
Well,
like, mhm,
um, the usual, watching to see how the landscape playing out. I was actually contemplating retirement, but now I have a little of an effervescence to come back and perform live and just see, because I believe um, after the pandemic, we will need to start from scratch,
right,
you know, because so many platforms have presented themselves during the pandemic.
hmm
So many modifications to the genres through this pandemic. You know, right now you really don't know which way is up. For example, you know, Soca Monarch, you would have the high BPM.
right,
Now even more, you hear people say, well, the music going back to music and the
true,
BPM slowing down.
hmm
And we just won the first ever virtual Soca Monarch. So due to that, because of the way the platforms and the genre is shifting, I think we'll have to start from scratch. So it's an interesting time to be involved,
right, right,
because one can be a part of a regeneration. We have an opportunity to regenerate the music
right,
because when you hear people speak of, well, now the music coming back in the music, right? You hear all those songs from Famanapi. You hear a bunch of groovy songs now that are more musically beefy
right,
versus just a hook, a drum and a bass and bass.
hmm
So I'll stick around to see how interesting it gets. I still have, I got a lot of tunes waiting.
right,
The bag full. It's just a matter of seeing the direction, then to do a little touching up to get with the time, to move with the time, because that's important.
right,
Not just in the writing, but in tone structure of the music. So I'm at a position right now where I'm just watching to see how it unfolds, and
right.
then I can just cast my line and adjust.
No, we yesterday me and you were having a conversation, and we mentioned we are talking about music videos, especially in a time now like how where we are right now in the pandemic. How important do you think that is right now, and maybe even after the pandemic, is to what you guys are doing?
Well, playing into the whole regeneration,
Right,
now it's going to be even more important to actually have a physical presence,
right,
you know. So the onus will be on the musicians and the producers and executive producers to use the most effective marketing tools available to them.
hmm
Because again, when we come back, it's like everybody now start from the same playing field,
right,
right? And everybody now going to try to run to the same target. It's about who can produce themselves better, who can produce a better product.
right,
I believe that with it goes past having a good song or good music, or good lyrics. It will actually be within the optics as well. How good you look.
right.
So it's very important.
Most definitely.
So
Um,
I have a
good.
question, Novi, and mine is a very musically something that just hit my brain. So I'm a producer of what I call abominations, which is basically a mixture of crossovers. Um, like you were saying, Sia, Do you notice a trend now where there's a lot of crossover coming into music, like
Yeah,
crossover styles?
there's a lot of crossover right now because you find again with the dissection and the different influences and people trying to catch at straws. Everybody look, Bungie Garlin and Bounty Killer just released a track Free Up,
Hmm.
right? So now everyone trying to cross over and trying to mesh and join and see how they themselves, when we resume, whoever catches fire, whichever genre catches fire, however way it catches fire, whether it be soca, bouillon, R&B, reggae, whether it be fast tempo, slow tempo, whatever it is, at least they will have like a hand in the pot, and
Right.
get something to stand up on.
And novelist
Yeah.
Nigel did ask a question to CR and Kels.
Yeah. Go ahead,
As
read it. That's what I was gonna read earlier. Go ahead.
as musicians, how has this pandemic affected you guys? What adjustments did you need to make?
Carlton, go ahead. You in the hot zone already. I
Um,
can go.
Actually, I want to start with Kels, but
Okay. All right. I can go.
okay.
Um. You know, I. All right. Let's put it so. Musicians, especially pro musicians, they usually invest into something else other than their music. Some type of side deals or side jobs, not, I would say side jobs, a business,
Hmm.
whether it's a hotel, whether it's a restaurant. And that's one thing I learned to do earlier, and Sierra and myself, we did that early in our musical career too. Create something that would work together with us and the music. That's how we ended up with our business, a career service business. So yes, it was a loss of income. It is a blow,
Right.
but it's not as hard financially, right? But it's hard on the heart that you cannot be out there
Right.
performing. And obviously, I mean, playing music is a joy. Being out there on the stage and meeting people, traveling, and just the feeling. I think the feeling is worth more than money.
Yeah.
The heart. You cannot pay so much for your original hat. Your original hat is original. So I mean, and it also gives us a time to think when or if it comes back. Hopefully, how are we going to approach it the same way? Are we going to take it even more serious to the next step? How much can we improve our musical career or even our personal life?
Hmm.
And I think that's what the pandemic has done. It has given me the opportunity to sit back, even work on my craft some more,
Right.
because you never learn. You read. I mean, there's books out there. I read a lot of books about music business and engineering, whatever it is, pianos. I just buy them and I read them. I mean, knowledge is power.
Nice.
So that's what I've been doing. See how
Nice.
you can go.
well, you know, because of the pandemic, I think, yeah, it provided the opportunity for reflection. Um, it is a tough time, across the board. Um, but I think, you know, just like when you have a tree and you want it to bear properly, sometimes you have to prune it, you know. And I think the pandemic served as a pruning because, like I said, we have different platforms that presented themselves which otherwise wouldn't have come to be,
Right.
right? Um, like for me, I'm yet to do a virtual show. I don't know how a virtual show would go with with that dynamic,
Right.
but it has served a lot of people, So yes, the pandemic has been tough musically. I mean, you don't get to go out there and share the gift of music that you have, but I personally like to look at things and see the merit in them, see the good in them, because in everything has good. Nothing is all bad.
Yeah, true, true.
So if you want to be productive and progressive, then you need to do your introspection, look at the situation from a wholesome point, and
Right,
see what, okay, let's see what positive we can spin it. So that can now propel us to the next level.
right,
So whether it be time for reflection, time to work on your craft, as Markel stated, time to compile your compositions.
right.
There's always something to do.
Of course.
If the music is true to you and you're true to the music, there'll always be
Right,
something to do.
of course.
Yeah.
I
So for me, as tough as it was, I mean, I had a lot of support, but I made it through just understanding that, what, I must find a way to recalibrate and recreate myself musically.
right.
You must be able to put an extension, a new dimension that going forward. Because listen, things will continue to happen,
Mhm.
and we need to understand that when things happen, we need to be able to have the ability to conform.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny. I actually love both of you guys' answers because we had a few guests on there, and I would ask them, basically what Nigel asked. How has it been in the pandemic as an artist? And I was surprised by a lot of the answers I got. When I say, well, we're just there. And, you said something about everybody starting back on the same playing field. And I've always thought the same thing. Like this is a time where you reset. You go
Yeah.
back, like everything has been fast, fast. Especially the music we've been getting for the last 20 years. And I mean, it's fast-paced music. It's good today, and tomorrow it's not good, right? It's a time to really sit down and, like Michael say, read, educate yourself. So when you write into your music now, you find yourself, using maybe bigger words, articulating just sharpening up. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
And I mean, all right, let's take a look. I have to say, all right, look at an artist like Carlin XP. I
Right,
mean, she could have sat down and say, "Man, there's no music gigs, and what are we going to do?"
right.
And guess what? It's through a reflection she started something one day,
Hmm.
and she changed one person mind. And
Yeah,
if you
of
can change
course.
one person mind about you, you can change
It's a
many.
lot, of course.
And look at where she is now. I mean,
Hmm.
she has got plenty out of it. She has got to work on her craft. She has got
Right,
to try out things that you couldn't go and try out in the heat of things.
right.
She has built her clothing line and so on and so forth. I mean, if artists and musicians just sit down and say, "Well, that's it for me," and that's not good for the heart. You could never be a true musician and just say that's just totally that. No, you have to reflect
True.
and you have to try. That's what musicians do. Same thing when you go on tour.
Right.
Sometimes you don't know what kind of a system you're going to meet, or
Hmm.
Boy,
so you have to work. You
let's
have
not go
to
into
try
that.
your best to work with it. And
Right.
sometimes flight will come on time, hotels, the gratuities, well, whatever it is, we get bad service, but we have to be on that stage and perform at the end of
Right.
the day.
Of course. Of course. Yeah. When a lot of people say things like that, it just shows that you're in the business for all the wrong reasons.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're not doing it from your heart. You're doing it because it pays the bill, and it is what it is.
No,
Everybody
no,
have to
no,
pay
no,
their
no,
bills, right?
no, no,
No,
no, no, no,
no. Everybody have to
no,
pay their bills.
no, no,
Listen,
no,
listen.
no, Nove,
Everybody. Mhm.
Nove, you say some man doing it to pay the bills. Is which type of bills they trying to pay?
It doesn't matter
No, you
what
have to.
bills you're
No, no, no,
paying,
no,
bro.
no, 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 no. You have to be specific
Mhm.
because it has some fellas that know all in that for to do is get the big chain, buy a bike, get one two little things that they're there for. So you have to be specific.
No, well, hey,
Which bills?
at the end of the day, people do what suits them. I'm
Yeah,
not
man.
hating on
Exactly,
nobody. I'm
exactly.
not, you know what I mean? It is what it is. If that's what you want to spend your money on, hey, it's your money.
Your
So,
You know what I'm
prerogative.
saying?
so
Yeah, I'm just.
gentlemen,
Mhm.
sorry for cutting you off,
Go
Novi.
ahead,
I
sir.
have
Go
a
ahead.
question to ask. So, gentlemen, while talking to my partner novelist, my boy said my boy tell me, give me a list of names. The boy tell me all your fellas is the shiznit according to them people over here. When it come to backing up artists.
Oh.
Yeah, so yeah,
We going
I
down the
want.
line.
Oh, I there you know. Today I want some people because some people need to put some respect, especially on Kel's name. Cause you know there's still are some man that have Kel's and CR funny, especially back home. So let's put some respect on all your name. So can you just tell us some of the artists that you have worked with and how was it working with them?
Wait. Before you go, that's a long list. That's a long list. So
No, I don't ask for all. Just give
no,
me
no, no, no.
a
Yeah, you won't get all, but let me just help my partners out there.
no
Let's
problem.
start. Let's start with the classic artists, with like mature artists first.
Right.
Carlton, go ahead, man.
Let's see. We're gonna go. Let's start at the beginning.
Mm,
First artist I backed up was David Rudder.
right.
After David Rudder, it's one big blur from there because we run through so many artists. I actually used to have a folder um, of music sheets,
I still have mines.
and I will let the artist sign
All right.
a signature on when I perform with them. And that
Right.
folder was so thick. Um, but someone stole that folder at a show.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, so we're looking at from David Rudder all to well, about Sparrow, Tommy Sparrow for about 3 or 4 years.
Right.
Percy Sledge
Mm-hmm.
before he died. We did a couple of shows with him opening for the Temptations as part of a Motown revival kind of thing. Um, Calypso Rose, of the Barons, the Sugar Hollows,
Right.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah, I'll just call a name when I say yes I do.
Um,
That
I,
there's a bunch of solutions as well that they know that when they come to Toronto, they have to call Carlton. You want it done right, you
Right.
have to come to this channel.
Nice.
Outside of that, you're gonna get a weak a weak product.
All right.
Yeah.
Because you care to continue that?
wow. Well, I would say my first major. Listen, my first major artist to me was Diane Skinny.
To you.
Yes,
Okay.
All right.
you know, because as a kid, you growing up in Dominica, I mean, WCK and Effects Band, and I mean, these are your role models. I mean,
Right.
so I mean, the Exile ones and so on. So working with Diane Skinny was a very nice moment for me.
Right.
Now let's step it up. My first major artist, we're looking at Baron, and I must say, it was back-to-back shows, 2 nights in a row,
Right.
because the venue was small, so they had to sell 2 nights,
Half and half. Okay.
half an hour.
Yeah.
And it was a challenge. It was a bit challenging for me because I was just getting to understand a little bit of music theory. So because we have music chats, I mean, when these guys come, they come one night, we do a rehearsal, you put up your music chat, and they disappear, go into the show. That's it. So I was just actually getting into the groove of reading.
Right.
Because, in Dominica, we don't do too much of that, except with swinging stars, probably for serenade a little bit,
Right.
But my ears still help me with it.
Right.
So, I mean, and this guy had a medley, which was about 10 pages long, and if you get lost in that's it for you, lost in the song. So we did Baron. I also did Sugar Hollows. Well, Calypso Rose. We did Calypso Rose for about 4 or 5 years, which we got the opportunity to open for Roberta Flack at Vancouver Islands Festival. We were the major headlines.
Right.
We did Mighty Shadow.
Yeah, for sure.
Ronnie McIntosh. Well, we did Mighty Shadow around 4 times, 5 times. Ronnie McIntosh. Who else?
Listen,
Alison Hines. 2015, I think that was one of the hardest shows of my life. I got the opportunity to back up Lyrical
Right.
when he just came out with this song. I think Cloud9 was his major hit at the time, you know.
Right.
And
Okay.
wow, and he didn't have too much material at the time. I had about 8 songs, and I had to play keyboard, control the samples, and with this guy start and stop, start and stop, start and stop. You have to be extremely sharp. That was a tough,
Right.
tough, tough show for me. What else? Carlton, what else?
no, he only saying that because he didn't show without me. That's the only reason.
I've worked with a few Dominican groups as well. I mean, Ranger Band, Royalty Band. What else? So many of them. Tigress from United Sisters.
Yeah.
And Slim Douglas, who let the dogs out.
Right.
KV Charles, Ricky T, Invader, Hood Black.
That list is crazy long.
Now,
Ladies and gentlemen,
Huh?
watching this evening,
although I'm a St. Lucian,
Right.
I never performed with these guys back in St. Lucian.
Right.
It's only up here, So it was kind of like it was ironic to me, that all my years. I mean, because I sang calypso in the big leagues a couple of years after high school.
Right.
So I know of Innovator, I know of Her Black, I know of these guys. Ricky T and them came after, But it was just ironic that now that they hear my tune, right, I have to be the one to back them up.
Hey. What they say about the stone they build they refuse?
become the chief cornerstone.
So, but Kels, that amazing to me that you mentioned names like Roberta Flack and Calypso Rose, and Lyrical was the toughest one. I guess. I mean, I get.
I wasn't there.
No, I get it, but wouldn't we practice with like Roberta Flack be more stressful?
No, Roberta Flack and Calypso Rose headlined the show. I didn't work with her.
You didn't work with. Okay.
Yeah, because that show was a funny show because I was saying Roberta Flack played before us.
Right.
So I say when she finished, everybody got their home.
Yeah.
I mean, so when Calypso Rose come on the stage, and I see the people, I say, what? As Vancouver Islands are happening there with us. People know these songs word for word.
Nice.
I say,
wow,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that was my first tour with Calypso Rose, my first tour, because the week before that we were in Vancouver, and whilst we were on the plane coming back to Toronto, she called the owner of the band and said, listen, she need the band to come back to Vancouver Islands to do the gig.
Wow.
So we did not even rehearse with her. She just sent us the music, and then in the hotel room we discussed the gig. And then it was from 2010 to 2015, almost all the Canadian shows we performed. I mean, we did a 2-week tour with her.
Dovey, before you move on, repeat that again. Y'all was on the plane.
Yeah.
I have to make sure I hear that properly.
Yeah.
Fellas was on the plane.
Yeah.
All you reach Toronto just to hop back the plane and go back.
Yeah, the next weekend we have to go back to Vancouver Islands.
Right, now I say to go back.
We say that for a couple of days.
All the fellas air practice, not a thing with the woman, or you just go on stage with and show mashup.
Yeah.
Listen, when you're at a certain level, you get the distinction of a term cutters. Right, we just come and cut it. No time to waste, no time to just come and cut it. Let's go.
Right.
Play as written, it's there, let's go. So yeah, most of them, 99. I mean, if Calypso Rose were to come right now, we don't need practice. But those songs already embedded.
Right. Yeah, because you guys did it so many times.
Yeah, and you have the geographic of the show, I mean, if you pay attention, now you have to pay attention. There's certain stories she will say before she brings. Sometimes she would forget a song on the list and then skip to the next song. And then when she starts that story, everybody has to know, well, this is the song I'm going to play. And then there's a segment of the show where she starts to sing any song in this key. So any song she sings, you have to follow her.
Just follow.
Just follow her. And it at the first show it gave me a little bit of headache because some of these songs were older, so I didn't know the
Right.
melody.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, I mean, it's good brain work for musicians, you know.
Right.
A
I'm glad
lot
you.
of,
Go ahead.
a lot of these songs were church songs. So when you go to church, you're supposed to pay attention.
Right.
Well, they didn't play those songs at my church.
Mark, I was paying attention to the lady on the organ.
The blind lady, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
boy.
it. That's it. So, all right, I'm glad you mentioned like melodies and stuff. Not to put like any artists out there on the spot, right? But working with like Carlton, for instance, you work with Sparrow. Sparrow songs has a lot of breakdowns, like bridge, and like there's just so much going on in his music, right? And
Yeah.
a lot of also Baron and those things, right? Classical music, you hear it and it hits the spirit, it makes you want to dance. How does I don't want to offend nobody, but obviously there's a difference when you perform with these people and when you perform with um like the up to date artists,
Oh yeah.
Right,
right?
right.
Do you ever get bored with the up to date artists? That's what I'm trying to
Boy,
get to.
you asked the right person that question.
Oh well, Dory, the bouncing back up when Carlton answer you next.
Well, you know, it it doesn't bore me per se because I've been doing this thing since I was 9.
Right.
If I were to get bored, I would have gone bored a long time ago. It's just you get to see things for what they are.
Right.
You know, with Sparrow and these other guys, when you play one song, you play all. So there's even still a certain degree. If you were to get bored, there'll still be a degree of boredom there because we're looking at the same arrangers, Leston Paul, Adi Koto, the same arrangers.
Right.
So you have the same minor chords, the same diminishes, the same sort of geography,
Okay.
right? So
Mhm.
it's just a matter of you get to see who really put effort
Into the
into the
craft.
music
Right.
and who just sat down and hit a couple of keys
Hmm.
and okay, that's good, let's go. And it shows because I'm a writer,
Right.
and between the music and the lyrics, I can tell who took the time. I can tell who was brilliant enough to master, and who just decided to do a fast thing,
Right.
right? Because you see, music has evolved so much. Music has evolved to the point where it's now objective, right?
Hmm.
20 years ago, a man walks into a studio and they will say, "Oh, you can't sing."
Right.
Today, everybody can sing.
Yep.
And
Hmm.
and that's because of the evolution of music. The evolution, in part with people like let's take for instance Macy Gray with a
Yep.
raspy voice. Macy Gray's voice was not conventional, but then when you have the injection of people like that, right, it started to shift,
Right.
the objectivity of music, and it's like, okay, well, as long as there's something that I can hook onto in your song, then
Hmm.
okay, it's good,
Good. It's a green light.
right? And now you're seeing a lot of that in St. Dairy segment,
Right.
right? Men just do the thing, and there's something in there that some people like.
Right.
You check?
Kels.
Right.
No, Kels have to
Yeah.
answer that question. He there trying and duck it. You
Uh,
not ducking. No. You didn't escape with the CEO there.
all right. The the difference. All right. With the newer artists, you have a more dynamic performance.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
with the arrangements. I mean, so the artist would come with a basic song. I mean, if you listen to the recording, it would be, let's say, A, D, and E, 145. When they come to do the live show, it's no longer 145. Like, I mean, Alison Hines, if you listen to a song like Carnival Baby or Bazudi, these are simple songs. Anybody can play on keyboard.
Right.
And when they sent me the arrangement for the live, man, it was like jazz music happening there.
Right.
And then, but Alison Hines has a great personality. I mean, she's very serious about her music. Very serious, very serious. And before we go on stage, she likes it down to the T, and she pays particular attention to her bass player
Right.
because she has that sliding bass line. I mean, she slides all her bass line,
Right.
and you have the little wheel out. And but now when you go to a person like Calypso Rose or David Rod, no David Rod, Baron or Sugar Hollows, I mean,
Right.
you have your music sheet, 4 verses. You go back to back. Even they too, sometimes they do their little thing in between.
Right.
Sometimes they add a next verse.
Mhm.
But something in the older Kaiso, I don't know. I really started to appreciate it a lot.
Right.
Work it for some reason because I guess in Dominica, I guess growing up, I played a lot of the booyah music. I was enjoying the arrangement and the chords. It
Right.
was something new for me to look to.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, I could play booyah or so on and never even pass a diminished chord or an augmented chord. And these are things that in these artists' music regularly. So it was challenging for me at the beginning. It was interesting to be learning this.
Right.
So that's the difference. One is basically more dynamic than the other, and some of the younger artists, I mean, I don't call any names. Boy, they
Headache.
they can be a headache to work with,
Right.
But you have to do your job and you have to be professional. You have to give the artist and them what they want.
Truth.
If the artist want a wrong chord, give them the wrong chord.
Boy.
That's, yeah. What you mean? That you paying for?
Yeah. Well,
Sometimes.
I mean, because at the end of it all, I mean, you can't really fight them. They
True.
they are supposed they know their music or supposed to know their music better than the musicians.
Right.
Suppose
And a lot of the older Calypsonians are like Shadow and these guys. I mean, they really know their music.
Right.
They really, really know their music. They would come and they would say, "Hey, listen, that seventh chord you're playing there, I don't like the positioning of that seventh. I want this note to be at the bottom instead because it is disturbing my vocal." Simple little things like that.
Yeah.
they
You know
understand the arrangement of the song.
exactly.
yeah,
So yes,
because
it's true. You'll see a C7 on there, but all right, they don't want you to hold that C7
Regularly.
with the B at the top there. They probably want it down at the bottom,
Right.
or they want you to hold it in the second position or third position.
Right.
Yeah. So it's
It's all about harmonics, man.
but yeah, I mean that's it.
Right.
Good
Well,
evening, Miss George. How are you?
Miss George. We hear your album coming
yeah,
out. Yeah, it
Yeah,
gotta be nice. Yeah.
I waiting for it, you know.
Big up Herman. I got it locked into the vibes
yes
as
indeed,
well.
yes indeed.
So we're almost out of time. Well, I got a question. Now, I know you guys working together on different projects. Sorry, even with a band. Will we ever see like Kells and CR Rhythm out there that artists can jump on?
That's not a problem.
Uh,
I think we,
I
I think we have plenty of them already.
exactly. I don't
So,
mind.
so so it's behind the dark. Okay.
I mean,
We've done some stuff for illusions.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
It.
go ahead, Tia.
but
Yeah.
No, no, no,
and,
no, no.
and then we were actually about to do something last year,
Mm-hmm.
but then the pandemic hit. We were gonna do a rhythm and a couple songs for Ashanti out of St. Lucia.
Okay.
Um, Markel did the rhythm and I was doing the writing, but
Mm.
then the pandemic hit, so that kind of derailed that.
All right.
So again, now that we're at this juncture, it's just to see what direction the new the rebirth of music will take,
All right.
and then from there you could decide on a stance.
Right. So Sierra, there's one more question I wanted to ask you. I know you started as a calypsonian, but you stopped singing as a calypsonian, but you never stopped writing calypso. How did you?
No, no, no.
You still write for the artists in St. Lucia.
Yeah, I still write for about five artists in Saint Lucia.
Okay. Can you
All right.
mention them or you rather just leave it?
Yeah, I've written for Minel, Lady Lynn, Blaze, Taker, um, Robbie, um, and most of my artists, well, all of them have done well. You know, we embarked on a mission to try to bring back good diction and good ethics into music. I found
Right.
that, especially with the writing, you guys were writing songs that they were way too vacuous. So we had to kind of infuse ourselves to change the direction. And you know what? For the most part, it has worked.
Nice.
For the most part, it has worked. So I'm happy to see. I'm happy to see that.
Nice.
So now comes my question, and this would probably be my final question to the two gentlemen.
I
Um,
find you have a lot of questions, you know.
I like a question here.
I hope you got a multiple question. Yeah. Go
No,
ahead.
no, 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 no. This is not multiple choice, but what is that? Okay, well, yeah, the question is if if you have to give if you have to give advice to any of the young musicians out there right now, the up and coming artists, those people who want to take it seriously,
Hmm.
what from the two of you, what would be your biggest piece of advice to them?
All right, I guess I'll go first.
Yeah.
Um, uh, well, anything you're doing, do it to the best of your ability. Look to improve. Always improve on your craft. Is your craft is what makes you money, right? So don't stop working on your craft. Continue working on your craft. Treat the industry as it's a business. It's a business. If you're not too educated about it, I mean, there's books you can read. I mean, there's YouTube. I mean, University of Google. That's what I call it. Yeah? University of YouTube. You 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 have to take it serious from the time you leave your home. If you're a musician or artist, people are gonna be watching. And criticism. I don't want to say it in the Dominica style. You have to be able to take talk. When somebody criticizes you, whether it's positive or negatively, you have to seek and reflect and say, all right, what is this person trying to say? What am I missing? Don't just say that's a stupid person for making that comment. You know? And use this downtime to reflect, plan. You have to plan and execute for any business. You cannot just wake up in the morning and just. Now is a good time to plan, and if you're up there already, probably you should start over and do things differently, and it might bring you over the hump much
Right.
faster. You know, don't take the downtime and just cry and say there's nothing. But most importantly, work on your craft. I mean, your craft is what everybody sees. That's why they buy your music. So you can never stop working on that. No matter how great you are, you will always learn. There's always practice. Most importantly, yep. That's what I have to say.
Well,
See, yeah.
I'm a man. I do practice. So I would I would tell them, listen, if you want to take music seriously, the first part to taking music seriously is to take it seriously, right? Now, under the umbrella of taking it seriously, you have to understand the rudiments of music. You have to bring yourself to a place where you can absorb. You know, just like with Markel. Listen, Markel was a hell of a player before I met him. You know, I was walking down the steps of Cutty's, and I was making a joke with Yellows. Yellows was actually walking with me, and Yellows said, "Well, listen, But Carlton, it sounds like you downstairs playing. But how you downstairs playing? You walking down the stairs, you know, because he was playing so strong.
Right.
You know, I recognize his deficiency right there. I picked up on it, but he was open and he was absorbing. You know, and for whatever reason, you have to be at that level where you can absorb. You have to put yourself in that place. You
Right.
know, you and you have to be patient. You have to be patient with it. A lot of these guys are rushing it because and whilst rushing it, they don't get through the rudiments. They don't get to understand where where it started. You can't know where it's going if you don't know where it started
History.
or how it started. You
Truth.
know, and
Truth.
you need to be multifaceted. You need to see through different avenues how to excel yourself. And the one thing that I've always told every musician that has passed through my hands, make yourself as undisposable as possible.
Right.
Embed yourself. Like if you're joining a band,
Hmm.
hey, the first band I joined, if they had to fire me, they had to replace me with four people, right?
I like
And
that
that's
attitude.
and that's bad for business
Yeah.
because you let go of one man and now you gotta hire four. Like, you know, because
Kes, behave.
you,
Kes, behave.
I was the type of musician that all you need. You know, I even did a show one time where the bass man didn't show up, so it was only me and the drummer, and I was
Wow.
playing bass on one
Like,
keyboard while
yeah.
strumming on another keyboard. Right? So you have to replace vocals, background vocals, keyboard player, guitarist, and
Everything.
sometimes bassman. Right? We were doing a show at Cutty's, and there was some mix up with the drum machine, and I had a Korg X50,
Mm,
and I just switched to my drum kit and started playing percussion on the keyboard.
yeah.
Right? That was when I had the zest for music. That's when I used to do on my back and I'll go down under the keyboard and
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
God miss all them little times. But I mean, he's the new breed now. I'm happy. I'm happy with how he's doing and how where he came from and where he is now.
Right.
I've successfully passed the torch over to him. And now he's the man. And I'm really proud of that. So
Yeah.
the young musicians can take him as an example. Listen to what he said, but be patient.
And
Patience is key.
Yep.
mhm. And that man is an old soul. Trust me. I learned from him, and I'm older than him. So
Exactly.
you know what I
Yeah,
Exactly.
mean.
you know what makes me happy, novelist, guys. What makes me happy, honestly, is making other people's dreams come true. I don't know if that's a bad thing. So
No,
if a
that's not a bad
person,
thing.
because when someone comes to you as a musician, a producer, that means they have a problem,
Right.
and they come to you to solve that problem. So I always try to be that problem solver. So like I'm willing to spread my knowledge or the very little I have, or if some people think I have a lot, I don't know. But I
Right.
am always there to help, because what the kids have now, I mean, we never had those things back then.
Hmm.
So again, some of them don't know the history. So they must come to the older heads to get the history of things. And
Right.
some of them keeping it back. But I'm not one of those. I mean, you can ask guys like Scrappy the Rhythm God. I mean,
Yep.
the first time this guy came here in Canada and I saw this zest in this guy, his eyes,
Hmm.
man. I gave him my drum machine. I say, all
Yep.
right, look, hold that. Then I watch this guy say, nah, them guys in New York, you can do some good work with them.
Yeah.
Check them guys out in royalty
Yeah.
band and so on. I mean, spreading knowledge. I love to spread knowledge.
Of course.
That's it. I mean, and we should do that.
Yes, I agree 110%
We should do
with that.
that.
You know what I mean? Back and forth for sure.
Yeah, man.
For sure. So I want to thank you guys for joining us. My two partners
He
from
look
way
like he have
back.
a next question there, I
See you.
suspect that.
No, 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 no.
You have to
Actually, no, no,
mute that man. Mute that
no,
man.
no, 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 no. Hold on, hold on, hold on. But, no, 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 no. Let me get something straight. I was about I was waiting to see if Novelist had a next question, or if any one of you had a next statement. I good enough
Okay.
because you all gave the greatest piece of advice and the best piece of advice. Some of the best pieces of advice I've heard. Besides, and that is in keeping with all our other guests, right, Novelist?
Oh yeah,
All
yeah.
other all other senior head. I will call them old heads. I call us matured
Seniors.
musicians,
Yeah.
Season musician.
seasoned
Seasoned.
musicians
Season.
who have come on,
All right.
has brought to the show. So, guys, like Novelist was going to say before, Marcus say I had a question. I think I can do this. Yo, fellas, thank you for passing through. Thank you
Yeah, no
for
sin, man.
Anytime. Anytime.
giving us your time and giving us your knowledge so that we could share to the world and the rest of the younger musicians. Big up to the man Ajmal Skyo Beats Peters. Again, very promising young man from Dominica.
Yeah, yeah. I've been watching a couple of his clips. That's Ross' son, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and I actually work with him a lot, bro.
That's good, man. That's good.
Bro, y'all don't know, you know.
That's good.
Duffy, bro, Duffy, the world ain't ready for what's going to happen just now.
Because I am concerned about young musician. You see, young bands in Dominica. I find Dominica is lacking young booyah bands, I should say,
Why?
lacking, and I am scared for the industry in that sense. Just off topic, you know.
Yeah.
It is bothering me a lot every time.
You know.
Michael, I got to tell you something, eh? Right now, boy,
Please don't go
Dominic.
there.
No, I
Please
go
don't
in there. Right now, no, I
No,
go
we
in there.
gotta. We gotta.
I go in there.
We gotta.
Michael wrong. Michael should have leave people alone.
We gotta go.
We go in there, though. We go in, but I gotta leave it like this. Michael, right now, boy, your music has become whatever you feel like saying on a rhythm, you're good to go. And that is how Booyah is over there right now.
All right,
And
so guys,
the chat-
if people wanted music from you, like wanted to use you as a producer, when how can they contact you guys? I guess Scales, let's start with you.
Well, my email is kelsmusiclab@gmail. KELZMUZIKLAB@gmail.com. Also, you can follow me on Facebook at KelsJohn, Instagram at kels.john. And hey, I just opened a TikTok today, KelsJohn.
We
Wait,
I hope,
no, I got flat. I got flat.
on TikTok.
No, I went to
what
see
does
somebody do
here?
some talks, you know.
I
What
hope
does
not,
here?
I know. I hope I don't see him talking on TikTok.
I can put two breadfruit in the and took
Last
them.
week, last week,
Yo,
last
yo.
week I tried to talk to my girlfriend last week. Boy.
CR, you have me laughing like a vermin on them people program.
Yeah.
CR, give them your
Boy,
contacts.
give the people your
Contacts.
contacts.
Come on, there.
Yeah, man. crmusic.world@gmail.com. Facebook Carlton Roberts. Instagram rhythmnation.ent.
Nice. And of
So
course,
find me there. Or put a
the
message in a bottle and drop it in Lake Ontario. I'll get it.
Shh. So what if you're not in like what if you're not in Canada now?
It must reach me. I tell you where to put it in.
Okay, sorry, sir. I crossed the border. I out the
Right,
border.
right. So put it in the nearest lake, it'll reach me.
Niagara Falls.
nice.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
guys, we should definitely do this again. I know there's so much more we could
So
talk
much more. I
about.
mean, we just start to talk, you know. We're warming
Yeah,
up.
we're just warming up, and
So
you know,
We talk about Ratic Band.
yeah, we
we
didn't,
put that.
you know. So okay. Let's see what my mashup a question is first before we.
My question, boy, when Markel, Novelist, and Carlton giving us a virtual
Budget.
Mashupper,
okay.
no, I'll answer, Mashupper, to be announced.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna tell him. Well, you know, it can happen. You know,
But look at
But we-
what you all happening right now.
exactly. But you know what?
You all have the platform, and so hey,
So
whenever, whatever, however.
yeah, we can do it. But you know what I gotta do, Mashupper? We're gonna need a guest artist. So as soon as your first song ready,
Yeah,
We
you're
go in.
good.
we go in.
Yeah, but
Use
yeah,
your-
but
and
yeah,
you guys
yeah,
you put it
yeah,
back.
don't be out there.
He is the opening act.
On the behalf of TDN TV, Islands Therapy, and of course the after lunch family, this has been Dissect. Gentlemen, thank you, thank you, thank you, and let's
Yeah,
do
man.
this again.
No
Yes,
Yo,
sir.
we,
problem, man.
Blessings and
Anytime.
time.
We can do a
we
part
out.
two.
No, there
Yeah.
will be a part two.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Folks, we out.
All right.
Adios.
Yeah, boy. Rhythm Nation.
And that's of course the man CR and the man Kels. And that production in the back there is done by the man CR as well. Alongside your boy, yours truly.
Tell me double to come over. She want me on the couch and on the rag area. She want me in the back, take me in she back room. She want me drop it and she want it drop it like ooh. She want the big one man, she want it all in the yard. She repeat what it is man, she want it all in the car.